And we are live. Yes, the podcast is back. Because, man, when I want to do a video, it's too fucking dark out. It's way too dark out. And then I gotta go find a freaking light source to even light me up. And to be honest, that's more of a headache. Now, I can make an audio file as long as I want and talk what needs to be talked, basically. Because I'm not going to lie. I talk a fuckload. I talk a lot. You want to know why that fucking is? See, I know a lot of people who grew up with me, who went to school with me and stuff. They know why I'm talking a lot. You went to school with me, you didn't hear me say two fucking words. You didn't hear me say two fucking words, man. Not two fucking words. Now I tell it like it is. I will tell it like it is. I will continue to talk. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to keep talking, and I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking. I don't care. You know? That's how it is. Of course, you know, my caseworker, she's taught me how to do boundaries and stuff. You know, she's taught me how to, you know, control my socializing. But sometimes I really don't want to. That's kind of why I surround myself with people who don't mind, you know. I tell you, man, the gym has been fucking wonderful for my progress with communication and like all that stuff. Just letting me be myself, letting me be my repetitive motherfucking self, man, basically, you know. It's tough, man, it's tough, especially being in a world where people don't know how to fucking talk. And it sucks. But it's okay. You know, see, I do good. You know, say if I were to go downtown, okay? Talk a motherfucker's ear off. Talk all night if I want, you know? A drunk motherfucker will be able to listen to me. They'll be able to listen to me and try to keep up with me and stuff. But then when they start seeing that I'm not doing anything, that's when they kind of start to feel like they have to prove something to me. Listen, you don't got to prove nothing to me. You want to do that? Well, go ahead. I don't care, you know? I'm not judging you. I don't care what you choose to do. It is your life. You do whatever you want, you know? You don't got to prove nothing to me. I can't stand that. Cannot stand that. I swear I cannot stand that. When people act like they got to continuously impress, I fucking can't stand that. Don't impress me because you're not impressing me. You are not impressing me. I'm just going to say that. You're not impressing me. You're really fucking not, you know? I mean, I get built up with so much, you know, that needs to get out, you know, and I have to get it out on a regular basis. That's one thing that my caseworker taught me, man. She taught me to vocalize every single thing. Just vocalize it. Because I'm prone to going home, bottling everything up that I held inside, and I just let it sit there, and I just continue to build it up. Then what do you think's gonna happen? Boom! An explosion. Not good. So, you know, I just want to keep, you know, going. So, you know, the podcast thing was me and my grandma's thing, you know, for a while, but, you know, she did it because, you know, there was something I wanted to do with her. Me and my grandma, we're best friends. You listen to the olds, then you already know. Of course, now, you know, grandma's not on here, so, you know, I can actually talk how I want to talk, because I do watch myself. You know, I don't beep out cuss words around my grandma. I don't even want her to think that I'm thinking about cussing. But see, that's kind of how I've always been. Like, my friends all know, like, I do not cuss. I will beep my cuss words out. I don't know why I do that. I just do it. Maybe it's a trigger response. I don't know. Because, you know, growing up, you know, you're always taught, that's bad words. You don't say bad words, blah, blah, blah. But it's a whole different story when I'm writing. But yeah, when I bottle up my emotions and stuff, it's not good. It's not good for you. You got to be able to get that out. So that's why I like to be around like-minded people. Like-minded people who can just listen. Listen. There have been a select few. One of my friends at the gym, she talks equivalent to me. And I tell you this, I have been practicing with my listening skills with her. I've been letting her talk my ear off while I practice with listening, And she knows that. I told her that. We talk equivalent. Because there was a dude who kind of talked equivalent to me, but then he did some in front of me that I did not like. So I do not want that guy talking to me anymore, So I kept moving. I keep it moving. You get out of my way. Psh, get away. Leave. I'll go find someone else. I don't want you around me. I don't like how you are as a person. So, because I'm telling you, what you choose to put up with and what you choose to keep in your surroundings, you're affecting yourself. You really are. So you got to be careful. You have to be careful. Because you're just going to be putting up with bulls that's going to continue to lower you down. For what? Because you want to be buddy with them. Oh, that's my friend. He's just weird, but he's different. He makes me feel like, and he's kind of a soul to other people too, So he's just himself, but he's a good guy somewhere down in that, effed up mind. He's somewhere a good person down there. Nah, don't be like that. Don't be looking, because see, this is what people don't understand. There are people, dead possum in the road. But anyway, yeah. Okay, but yeah, people, manipulators specifically, they put on a show. They want you to get to know who they want you to get to know. And see, that's what I mean. That's what the person did. I thought this person was cool. I considered them a friend, And, geez, what was it? Maybe a half a year? It was a pretty good minute, And, I don't know, I thought he was a good dude. I could be myself around him, laugh, talk his ear off, practice my listening skills on with him when he started talking my ear off. So, I was developing more of my listening skills. And, and then just one day he decided to, make some remarks toward me that I totally as a joke. But you see, I don't joke. If you're going to be saying hurtful to someone, and then say, yeah, and slap them on the shoulder or something, act like you're joking. It's like, motherfucker, you a 40-year-old man. You a 40-year-old man doing that. What the Some people refuse to grow up. They refuse to grow up. But you know what? You can refuse to be around that person. And then on top of that, then I found out some more stuff from some other people, how he is. So, and I was just like, nah, I don't want to talk to that guy no more. I don't. And then, long and behold, someone came around the gym, got a new employee who, she talks equivalent to me. So I've been practicing my listening skills on with her. And she's been pretty cool. And what I like is that she has a kid that has autism, and is so refreshing, to hear stuff, that her kids do and that her kid does. And she always tells me about stuff like that, and I can say, oh man, I used to do that. Yeah, I used to be that same way. The repetitive tics and all that stuff, that was something that, it was not very well accepted growing up for me. Because, back in my day, autism was not, it was, they didn't know nothing about it, They didn't know nothing about it. So, it's really refreshing to hear, stuff that I used to do growing up and that I had to hide a lot had to hide a lot of my repetitive tics, because if I didn't, I would be a nuisance, disturbing the peace in a way. So that's one of the reasons why I stayed so sheltered, is why I was so reclusive, throughout my life, because I can get so fucking repetitive. And so, so it's so awesome to hear, stuff about her kid, and I give her pointers on what she needs to do, because stuff that my caseworker has taught me, stuff that she needs to do while, how to respond to certain tics and all this other stuff, I can help her with that. And, and it's great. It's very comforting to hear, how she enjoys his tics and stuff, because that's like my grandma. My grandma loves my tics. She loves them, like loves them. And you have to, because because there's, like, for example, there was a tick that her kid used to do that she really loved. Well, the thing is that tick is no more. He's got another tick, and that's how it is. You pick a tick that you love, right? And then, later on down the road, you're going to be picking up another tick, and, you're going to have to get rid of another tick so you can have a new tick, and then that new tick is going to be your new comforting tick until the next one comes around, So, it's just great talking about stuff like that, because, that's from stuff that I experienced. And it's great to be around, just people who understand how I am, it's great, because I do talk a lot. I got a lot to say, I know that I can be repetitive at times. Like today, I was being a repetitive motherfucker today. I was just happy. And then that's how it is too. It's usually when I'm happy, just like to talk a lot, repeat myself a lot, because I'm talking about something that I like. Right now, I really, really love Coneheads. I watched that movie as an adult for the first time, because, I saw it as a kid. It was funny as a kid, but I think maybe I only watched it like once or twice, maybe. But the thing is like, I watched it as an adult. Man, that movie had me laughing so much. And then the way that they did the script, and like how they just had everything set up, like with the slang terms for the aliens and stuff, like, oh my gosh, the movie was so funny. Like, I laughed literally the whole movie. So right now I've been working on memorizing as much of the movie as I can, because I want to memorize a lot of the vocabulary that they use. Because I just find it so funny, and it's so awesome how how they created all that. It's just cool as heck. But so I did talk about that a lot today, during Easter and stuff. And it's great, with how my mom is, she responds very well to everything. She listens to me. When I start getting on the repetitive tick, she's okay with it. Of course, they don't really fully understand a lot of it, and I'm not going to try to make them understand or anything, because that's one thing that I've learned from my caseworker is you never use your diagnosis as a crutch. Never do that. You never do that. So if you got a diagnosis and you be telling people, hey, I can't comprehend this because my diagnosis is this, I didn't mean when I said that. My diagnosis is this, You can't be doing that, because what you're doing is you're exposing vulnerability to yourself, So, because if you're able to acknowledge what what your diagnosis is, then you can acknowledge that what you need to work on within yourself. That's why they got professionals and stuff, And you got to take it seriously, You can't just use it as a crutch and, what's that? I thought those were deer eyes. But, yeah, But I tell you, man, I do talk a lot. And it's very, 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 very rare to meet people who can actually keep up with me. And I'm not even talking about, how I am as a person. I already know I'm an impossible person to keep up with because I'm always go, 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 go. Always go, 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 go. I found out that that's a trigger response, but I'm making sure that everything that I'm getting to be busy with is, further developing me to strengthen me for tomorrow, Whereas, instead of, like, for example, for crying out loud, I used to be a video game addict, And so I like being on video games for long, extended amount of time, Number one, I'm not developing anything from playing video games for hours on end. I know that. It's not doing anything. It's just harming me even more, So, when I'm staying busy, I'm always doing something productive, something that's going to make me even stronger for tomorrow, Like, for example, tie-dye, writing. I just wrote that one song, just the other day because, I just went through a little moment of where I missed open mic. I missed performing, I really missed it. I was just like, man, I really miss performing. And, I just wanted to write something real quick. It don't take me long to write anything. And I know that I recycled that beat. I recycle beats all the time. I don't care. I really don't care. If I got something to say, just give me a beat and I will be able to write to it. I don't care. I love my piano beats, though. I don't wanna. It's hard for me to do other ones. I just like pianos. I like the sound of the piano. I like the sound of my voice to a piano, But, I like talking, though, I know one day, someone's going to come around. They're going to be able to keep up with me on all ends, With me always being on the move, always wanting to constantly work on myself every day. But the thing is we live in a world where that's all lacked. People don't like to work on themselves. They want to be comforted the whole time. And see, with my mentality is completely different from a lot of people. It really, really is. A lot of people think that it's depressing. They think it's depressing, but it's really not, Death is one of my big fucking motivators. For crying out loud, it's tattooed on my arm, for crying out loud. The concept of death is right there on my fucking arm, And, that's my motivator, That's all death is to me. It's a motivator, I always keep in mind that I could die tomorrow. I could wake up dead. No, you don't wake up dead. I could not wake up tomorrow because I'd be dead, That's why, like, if you got time, if you are awake, you need to start progressing yourself to build a stronger tomorrow. But the thing is we live in a world where people want to be comforted. They want to be, held. They want to be, they want to basically sit in front of the TV, indulge in being comforted and indulge in being safe, basically. Just being safe. Completely safe. You got the news to keep you paranoid of everything, making everyone else's mental health just completely even worse than what it already is, making the world look all scary and bullshit. But listen, guys, life is scary, period. It's scary, period. Life is all about adapting to change, and that's what people fear. They won't tell you that they fear that, but guess what? That's what they fear. See, we live in a world where people don't want to talk about, how they feel. They don't want to talk about that. And I remember, man, geez Louise, because just the other day, I was talking to my friend the other night, And I was telling her about, I just had an experience. Like, so, I go up to the gas station, right? It's about time they're fucking open. They close themselves, it's like, 2 in the morning? I got off work at 1, and every time I try to go up to the gas station to go get a coffee or something, they're always closed. Lame. But one day, they chose to be fucking open. I go up in there. And there was a guy who worked there, right? Because, I don't know, maybe every other day, maybe every day off around, maybe 3 in the morning, I'd come in, get myself a coffee. I'd sit at the table at the gas station, read one of my because I force myself to read. I really don't enjoy reading, but I force myself to read because I know it's going to pay off in the long run, and I might find joy in it. One of these days, I'm starting to enjoy it. The book that I'm reading is actually really good, but the thing is, I haven't been able to, get into the rhythm of reading again. I'm stuck on, chapter 6, and it's just there's so much change in my life right now. I'm just trying to take that next step, so I'm adapting to as much change as I'm putting myself in, and I know once I, get to where things are going on a smooth routine, then I'll be able to do it again. I force myself to pick it up if I know that I got time, but sometimes it's harder because it's harder because I'm going hustle and bustling to move on up in life instead of staying where I am. That's how you got to be in life. You got to continue to force yourself to move up. You cannot stay comfortable where you're at. That's the problem. People get comfortable where they're at. But, I don't even remember what I was talking about. That happens too. I'm very sporadic when I talk. Very, very sporadic, I go all over the place. And I get sidetracked, But what can I say? I love talking. I will talk to myself. Like, I don't care. If you don't talk to yourself, you're not in good company. I really hope this recording app is working pretty good. I like it. It's like so the recording app looks like a tape. It looks like a tape cassette recording. One of those old tape recorders, from like the 90s. Because I remember my grandma had one. They used it for their answer machine or something. It kind of looks like that, but it's an app, and it looks pretty cool. But I just had so much that I wanted to talk. I just wanted to talk. Like, I just felt like I needed to just talk. But that's the problem. You see, a lot of people are not. They can't keep up with me social-wise. They can't. It's hard. It's hard to keep up with me social-wise. Because I will go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And it's just built up stuff from, the upbringing and all that stuff through school, through all that bull crap. It was just built up. And then my caseworker helped me find comfort in how I am and, just be confident with who I am as a person. I mean, if you line me up with my family, dude, I stick out like a sore fucking thumb. I stick out. But that's okay with me. Everywhere I go, I stick out. That's okay with me. You can see that I really don't care. Feels nice to just be myself, because we live in a world where a lot of people, they're not themselves. The Japanese have a saying. I think it's the Japanese or the Chinese. One of them, I don't know which one said it, but it's like they say that we have 3 faces in life. You got a face that you show in public. You got a face that you show in private. And then you got a face that you show in your room. Those are the three faces that a lot of people go by. You know, the goal is you need to have one face wherever you go, every single day, 24 hours, 7 days a week. You need to have one face. You got to be able to acknowledge all that too. You got to be able to acknowledge when you're transitioning from public face to private face, and then from private face to in your room face. You know what I mean? That's something a lot of people struggle with, you know. See, the thing is like, the world is built with traps. See, I don't have to worry about doing a 10-minute video now, because now I got audio. And I like that a lot better. Instagram's cool. Get a quick video. Blah, 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 blah. It's only 10 freaking minutes. What's 10 minutes gonna do? 10 minutes don't do nothing. Because I'm a sporadic talker. I go all over the place, you know? 10 minutes is hard for me. But I manage. I say what I gotta say and I stop. Now, with audio, I can just go on and on and on and on and on and whatever. I don't care. It's just nice to talk. It's nice to talk. I don't care if anyone listens. I don't care. What I know is I'm getting it out. That's what that matters. And that's how it is, you know, when I go talk to people, you know. When I go talk to the people who are used to my behavior, used to my social skills, used to how I am when I talk. Do I care what I'm saying, you know, and all that stuff? No, not really. I'm just talking because I feel like talking. I got a lot to say. If I got something to say, I'm going to say it, you know. You can choose to listen or you can noise me out, you know, whatever. I have to get it out. And if you don't want me to talk, then I'll go find someone else to talk to. It's not a problem, you know. When you lived your whole life being silent, you know, and you finally find that comfort within yourself to be yourself, express it, go full throttle with it, because we got a lot of people who are not who they say they are. This is how the world's built up, man. It's built with traps. For example, the bar scene, you know, it's traps. Traps. They want you to spend all your money at the bar. They want you to spend all your money. Through the bar, what do you get? You get to meet people. You get to meet other people who are also getting intoxicated. Blah, 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 blah. Also dabbling with some other stuff. Just dabbling with a bunch of comfort. Dabbling with a bunch of comfort. Drunk, sex, high, whatever, you know. See, I was always one of those people, when I went downtown, I was a fucking crybaby. I was a fucking crybaby. Why? Because I used to bring my emotions. I used to bring my emotions downtown, you know. Because I didn't know. You know, I didn't know. It was like, 2019. So when I found life beautiful, you know. I remember my kids were so terrified of me that, you know, someone's going to take advantage or something. Because, like, I was like this big beaming light. Like, I saw life for the beauty of what it was. And that's the thing. Like, when I went downtown, I didn't judge, you know. Thought a lot of those people were my friends, blah, 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 blah. You know, there would be nights where, you know, I'd be crying downtown like a little baby. Wow, Burger King does trucks at this hour? Huh? It's like, wow, they really are doing a truck. Whoa. Dude, it's like 2 a.m. But, Anyway, yeah, so the bar scene, you know, you get indulged in all this comfort, right? Sex, drugs, high, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, I wasn't there. I already passed that. But yeah, I really thought those people were my friends, you know. There was all kinds of mixed signals that I would feed into, you know. I mean, I never had no problem with any of the other people, you know, because I was hanging around the wrong crowd. And I know my caseworker, she kept saying, James, you're not going to progress if you keep hanging out with these people. And I would defend them. You know. I would say, they're really cool, blah, blah, blah. I swear, like they're okay. Well, that's the thing. Like, yeah, they would comfort me for my emotions, blah, 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 blah. But the thing is, later down the road, like, say they wanted a reaction out of me. They needed some emotional feed. They would fucking hurt me. They would hurt my fucking feelings, you know. There's a couple scenarios that are in my head that will never ever leave, because I'll never forget. You know, I will never forget. There was a woman that I was like crazy into, you know. Oh man, I spent majority of that fucking year just trying to impress her. See, that's the problem. Impression. See, I know the problem now because it took breaking my motherfucking heart to correct. Because after the heartbreak bullshit, that's when my caseworker jumped in and she taught me how to recover. You know, how to not fall for that stuff no more, blah, blah, blah. You know, she hit me with a, I told you so. I knew that was going to happen. I told you to stop hanging out with those people, James. Blah, 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 blah. But then she taught me. She taught me, you know, how to deal. Taught me how to heal. If I ever felt lonely, blah, blah, blah. You know, if I ever felt depressed. You know, if I feel myself going manic in my apartment, get out of the apartment. It does not matter what time it is. Go get out of the apartment. Go to the gym. Go somewhere. And that's when the gas station would come in handy. I moved myself from going downtown, because I mean, I was going downtown a lot. Even on like days like I would just be getting off work, I'd have to go downtown. I'd have to go get some form of closure or something, you know. I was bad. I was horrible. Like, it was just, I was a mess. But I can acknowledge deep down, I just wanted to be fucking loved. I wanted to run away from myself. I hated myself. I hated my situation. I hated everything. You know, I hated everything about myself, you know, at that time. All I wanted to do was just run through somebody. And the woman that I fell for, you know, she was like, come to me when you feel that way, blah, 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 blah. I'm always here, blah, 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 blah. And so, boy, when she opened up that invitation, I was always there, you know, always there. Always. When I was going through any kind of mental distress or something, I was always there. And she did. She would help me out for the time being, and then it would be like a ghost. She would be gone, you know. Gone, wouldn't hear from her, blah, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, one day just she'll reappear. See, that's how it is. That's all downtown is. It's just a bunch of mental games. And if you go down with your emotions, well, what do you think's going to happen? You are going to be a puppet. You're just going to be a puppet. They will include you in the group, include you in all this bullshit. But guess what? You have something that a lot of them lack. Listen, guys, there's reasons why they're participating in, you know, in overly indulging in sex, drugs, alcohol. There's reasons behind all that. It's because they are desensitizing themselves. They are desensitizing themselves. But the thing is, with these, you know, things being normalized in society, you know, they're not going to acknowledge it. They're just not. They refuse. They start to live in their own denial. Sweep it under the rug. I'm not addicted to anything. I'm only a social drinker. I'm only a social smoker. Listen, I only smoke when I'm hanging out with such and such. Like, you know, they come up with all these excuses so they don't have to take responsibility for bullshit. But that's what they do. They live in denial. They live in this stage of impression. You know, they live in it. And when they get someone who has all these emotions, they don't partake in blah, 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 and such, well, they're going to be trying to get you to, you know, and get involved and stuff like that. You know, you can refuse. They'll take the decline, no problem, but that doesn't mean it won't be in your face, because you're enabling their problem by just being there, being a support, to be around it. You're still enabling it. You don't have to be partaking in anything. Just you being around, being a support, you're enabling it. But that's one thing, though. You know, just because I didn't do the smoke, I didn't drugs, didn't do alcohol, blah, blah, that does not mean there were opportunities for sex. And I tell you what, like, nah, I can't. Nah, I don't feel comfortable. Nah, I don't know you, blah, blah. But the thing is, people are so used to doing that stuff, like with people that they just met, blah, blah, hookups, blah, blah, blah. That's all comfort. That's all traps. I couldn't, you know, I did not feel how they all felt. But it's like, why do you think they have to be so intoxicated or something to even think about doing something like that? Now, there are people that don't have to be to do that, you know. There are some people that don't have to be. But what a lot of people do, the people that don't have to be doing that, they want you to be the one taking it. They want you to be the one doing it, so they have complete control over you. And that's how it works. See, I couldn't do that because willingly, when I was hanging out with those people, when it was all offered to me, the women were drunk. They were on something. And it just made me feel uncomfortable. I'm like, nah. Or they were just in like one of those, because there was a time where one of the women, you know, her boyfriend was okay with it. And I'm just like, what? It's like, oh, go ahead, dude. It's okay. Blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, dude, it's all right. Yeah, just hang out with her. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, because she liked me. But I acknowledge, dude, she has a boyfriend. Like, I'm totally going to respect that. Blah, 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 blah. But no, it was like, no, dude, it's fine. Blah, 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 blah. Like, don't worry about it. And all I could think was like, man, I can't. Oy vey, they're not open. Are you kidding me? Oy vey. But yeah, so that was, you know, just very, that was just a situation. I was just like, this is very uncomfortable. But the thing is a lot of people don't understand when you're like that. It's because you're not participating with anything. You're not indulging in the addictions that are normalized. So when you don't partake in that stuff, well, you're going to be, you know, sticking out like a sore thumb, because that's how it was. They'd all be at the bar, you know, getting drunk, being around, you know, a bunch of, you know, belligerent people, blah, blah, blah. And when they felt like talking to me, they'll come around. But, if they were sober and they saw me coming around, they have to be, you know, drunk on something, blah, 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 to even be around me, because of how much I talk, how emotional I was at that time. But, you know, when I got out of the whole downtown scene, you know, got away from all that, because, you know, the heartbreak, you know, because, the scenario that I'll never ever forget, you know, it was around after the holidays, and, you know, it was a couple weeks, you know, I gave her a gift, blah, blah, I didn't hear nothing from her. This is a woman that I spent a year, like, just totally trying to impress. And I'm telling you guys, if you live to impress someone, you're going to be, what's the word? You're not going to accomplish anything. You're not. So don't be trying to impress people, because you're not impressing them. What you're doing is you're making yourself look vulnerable, basically. You're giving them something that they didn't have to earn. All they did was have to show up, and what did they get? Oh yeah, James is going to impress me today with something, I'm sure. Oh, I hope I get to see him again. He always puts a smile on my face. Yeah, you put a smile on their face because guess what? You come in, you always got to be impressing them with something. Like, that's the attention. They don't have to do nothing to earn it. You know what I mean? It's called self-respect. Don't be living to impress people. Because in the long run, you're just going to get hurt. That's exactly what happened. Because she told me like it was that day. You know? Because it was like, I don't know if she wasn't drunk. She wasn't on nothing. She just looked so irritated with me. And she said, James, the only reason why I was so nice to you is because I felt sorry for you. Right to my face. But the thing is, I like blinded it out. Because I was so in awe around being around her, you know. And I just blinded it, you know. It didn't hit me later on until quarantine. Because a couple weeks later, that's when we were forced to be in quarantine. No, it was a week later or something like that. We were forced to be in quarantine. And all I could do is think. And I started playing scenarios because I was thinking about things that made me happy. So, of course, I was thinking about the woman that I spent so much freaking time impressing. And she made me happy, blah, blah, blah. James, reality, I was running away from myself through her. That's how it was. Ended up seeing what it really was, you know, from the outside looking in. And I was like, wow, she really fucking said that to me. And yeah, it can hurt. It can hurt taking it in like that. And then, like, when I wanted, then what did I do? I tried to patch it up. You know, I tried to patch it up, try to make things good. I wanted to understand. So I told her everything. I told her things that my caseworker told me not to tell her, you know. Telling about the paranoia that was going on because, you know, I didn't hear from you for a couple weeks, blah, blah, blah. So I had, you know, negative thoughts, but I kept noising out the negative thoughts because blah, 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 blah. You made me have blah, blah. Like, when I tell you guys, 2019, it was a big fucking wake-up call. That whole year, big fucking wake-up call. So after all that, blah, 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 you know, that's when I just did karaoke. If I was going downtown, it's because it's karaoke. I didn't want to be around anything else because 2019 was just a year of learning. I was exposed to everything. I had options for everything, but I didn't dabble with anything because I was a big scaredy cat. I really fucking was. And see, a lot of people won't admit that type of stuff. They won't admit that they're just scared. Like, I was scared because, you know, I knew who I was emotionally. That's one thing that a lot of people don't know how to acknowledge because they say we live in a society where people are emotionally desensitized. So, oh man, I don't know. But, you know, yeah, I'm able to acknowledge that though. Yeah, a lot of people can't acknowledge that stuff because, you know, a lot of people are absent of emotion. And, you know, it doesn't make it any better with people being on their phones during their developing stages. Your kid's not learning how to socialize at all. You're just going to make them basically a brick wall when it comes to communication. Like, jeez Louise. See? But yeah, that's why I don't really participate with any of that. I guess I'm gonna go up to my other Wi-Fi spot. I can't believe the gym closed, blah blah blah. Well, wait, that's gonna take forever to upload. I'm just gonna go home. I'll upload this tomorrow. But you know, when you're able to identify all the traps and whatnot, you know, 2019 for me was a learning experience. And I'm able to look at every single learning experience that I had. You know, that's a lot of things that a lot of people won't be able to identify because, face it, a lot of people live just to be liked by others. But the thing is, that don't make sense. And that's why I wrote the song that I wrote. How do you want people to like you when you don't even like yourself? Like I said, those people were not my friends. They were fake towards me. They wanted me for how emotional I was because I was something that was lacked in the group, you know? I was something that was lacked. They liked being around something so different, you know? Don't be one of those people. It don't end well. It does not. And then that's the thing. A lot of people normalize, you know, the type of behavior. Oh, she just needs a couple drinks in her and she'll be fine. She needs to smoke. Well, I can't stand that excuse too. You know, like the people that say, "Oh, you know, I'm an asshole when I don't have my weed." I can't stand that. It's like, what? It's because they use that to escape. That's how a lot of people are. They want to escape from reality with a lot of stuff. So they find substance or something that comforts them to escape. Listen, guys, reality is reality. It's there. It's there and it's there. It's always going to be there. And you have a choice to either put up with it face to face, or you have the easy route of comfort. You know, you have a choice. You have a choice with it all. And the choices that you make is going to open doors. And doors never close. Doors never close. They never close. So be careful of what you dabble with. Because what you dabble with is going to open a door. Then, forever in your life, you are forever going to attract that. See, that's kind of why, you know, I don't hang out downtown and stuff like that. I mean, I'll go for karaoke. Karaoke is fun. Because I like singing, you know. I love singing. I haven't been in a while because just there's been so much change in my life. It's just been trying to, you know, get on shallow water, I guess you can say. And that's how life is. There's going to be moments where you're comfortable where you're at. But then you're going to realize, wait a minute. I'm not progressing anywhere in this comfort. That's exactly how it is. And then you need to learn how to progress and get up out of that comfort, because you're not progressing in the state of comfort. Why do you think people want to stay there? Because it feels good. Nothing can bother them. Nothing can harm them. They're in their comfortable place with their comfortable things, their comfortable choices of substance and whatever else, you know. They want to be around that and surround themselves in it because they don't want nothing to happen. But in order to progress, you have to get out of that state of comfort. You have to. Because with comfort, there is no progress. You can't progress in comfort. It's just not going to happen. That's why people choose to stay in it. And then what happens? They stay in the state of comfort. What? End up popping out kids, blah, blah, blah. And then they're stuck in a predicament where now they got a baby daddy or a baby mama, or a couple baby daddies, a couple baby mamas. And you're just adding more doors into your life that are unnecessary for where you should be in life. That's the beauty of life. You're given a choice, you know. You're given a choice, you know. And you have the options. And that's kind of why I've just always been scared of a lot of bullshit. You know, especially, you know, well, now I'm a lot more comfortable with myself. I've learned to love myself ever since all those bad experiences in 2019. And my caseworker teaching me how to heal from all the experiences. Because I tell you, I've been through some bullshit, you know. But, you know, now I'm just more alert with a lot. I'm more alert because you have to be. You have to be alert in life. If you're not alert with everything, well, I mean, that's how life is. You have to be alert. And when change happens, you have to adapt. We live in a world where people don't want to be alert. They just want, that's why people choose like their favorite bars. And you only see the same faces at that bar. They already know everybody at that bar. They already know everybody there. You know, they want to be around the familiar faces. One thing that my old tattoo artist said, he said, James, you can take a break downtown, take a couple months off, heal yourself, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to go down and go back down there for like maybe a couple days, well, guess what? You'll see that not much has changed. It's the same people there. The same people there. They're not going anywhere. They are always going to be there. Downtown is like pretty much the prison of comfort. Don't be scared no more. Come get your favorite drink. Hang out with your favorite people. Hang out with the familiar faces. Blah, 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 blah. We want to be comforted. It's the same thing with a bunch of other places too, but I'm just using the more normalized approach with everything. That's basically where a lot of adults choose to go. And then, say they have kids, blah, 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 blah. You want to drop the kids off somewhere, put them on somebody so they can go have a good night or something like that. And it's like, you chose to have that, like, you made the choice. Like, now you just got to take responsibility and adapt to the change. But the thing is they were living a life where they didn't want to adapt to change. So therefore, it's going to worsen the situation because, see, that's how it is. You take the easy way out. You're going to get comforted and all that other stuff. Well, now you're going to be putting some severe changes. And then you're going to be putting some choices. Well, you can heal yourself now because now the change is 100 times worse. And it's going to keep getting worse as you continue to indulge. Are you going to turn the life around? Or are you going to listen to the examples that are shown in front of you now? Because now you can see that this was not the way. Well, a lot of people, they'll just change it up a little bit. Change it up, still dabble, but they'll also be dabbling some other stuff, blah, blah, blah. To kind of level it all out. You're just creating more chaos, and then you're going to be putting in more changes that are more severe. And it's just, see, everything what you attract, it's what you need to work on within yourself. That's how you got to look at it. There's a reason why you attract certain people in your life, right? And the reason why you attract those people in your life is because they are showing something that you need to work on within yourself. And when you can acknowledge that, say you start putting in the effort to work on that, well, then you'll see the person just magically just go away. They don't come around. Why? Because you progressed. You progressed. Good job. Because life is a do-it-yourself project. It's not a group. People run in groups because of the fear of change. They run in groups with it. They run in groups because of the fear. But the thing is, with the group mentality, you're going to be just having more troubling changes instead of good changes. Because, once a group, always a group. All the people in your group, all their problems, they're your problems too. You're opening, the more people you let in your group, you're opening just more doors, more doors, more doors, more doors. Those doors cannot be closed. So that means, say you do decide to change your life, blah, 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 blah. You're forever going to attract all the doors that you've already opened up. You're going to have to deal with temptation. I deal with temptation all the time to go back downtown. It was so freaking easy for me to get comforted. It was so freaking easy, dude. I can just go down, because see, I was a total different person. Everyone else wanted sex and blah, 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 blah. I just wanted cuddles. Cuddle me. Let me cry and whine to you, blah, 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 or complain. Or maybe we can talk about something that's cool. But I just want to be cuddled, snuggled up, and just feeling good, blah, blah, blah. I could go downtown and get that quick. It was so easy. You could do that easily. But the thing is, there was no progress. The amount of time that I used to go do that stuff, I could have been doing something completely different. But instead, I want to spend hours on end, on a day off, comforted. It was a horrible choice. And I can acknowledge that. Because I could have been progressing in other departments for myself. But instead, I wanted to run away. And that's how people are. Will they accept that? No, they won't. There are some who do turn their life around for the good, but the thing is, when you turn your life around, judging by the doors that you open, you're forever going to have to battle it. And that's one thing that I battle with. All the stuff that I did indulge in, just the easiness of just getting comfort in general. Now sometimes some days are easier than others. And then also, I got the porn addiction that I battle with, all that bullshit, it's an ongoing. So, that's why I just keep myself busy. I know that keeping yourself busy is a trigger response, to a lot. But the thing is, I have learned to, just be comforted in my own silence, basically. And I could just sit there and just relax and just in a room of silence. So I've mastered getting better and better and better. But the thing is one thing that's been troubling with me is just the environment, and, some of the neighbors, some of the stuff I hear go on in my apartment complex while I'm sitting in a room of silence, And for me, it was an example that, James, there's chaos in the world. There's chaos in the world. There's nothing you can do about it. You need to realize that it's out of your hand. It's out of your hands. The only thing that you can do is control your response to it all. And that's exactly what you got to do. You can either choose to be comforted in this chaotic world we live in and run away from it all through something, or you can just change your reaction to it. And that's what I did. That's why I've been going to the gym like fucking twice a day. I don't even want to be in my apartment now. But you know what? Because the gym's closed. I don't want to be here. I want to just be at the gym, working on myself more. So that way I can just come home, eat something and eat, go to sleep. But, got to adapt to the change, and the gym being closed, that's a complete change. So I'm going to be doing the same thing I did yesterday because they were closed yesterday. Pop in a movie, work out to the whole movie. That's what I do at the gym. Just keep the routine going. You have to be stronger than the change. And remember, the way to survive in this crazy, dark world that we live in, you can't control what's going around you, but you can control your response to what is going on. So you can either sit and deal with it, or you can just get up and move. Go elsewhere. You have a choice. Stay working on yourself. Stay positive. These podcasts are going to be 35 minutes long. I'm out. Peace. Wait a minute. It's still going. I'm going to keep talking until this thing gets to 35. But yeah, that's basically it, though. That's basically it. Wait a minute. Is it going to change? No, it's not. Yeah, this was a pretty good damn podcast, though, man. I like talking, man. I like talking. I don't know if you like listening, but hey, if you like listening, all I got is words. It'd be cool. I know one day, there's going to be someone out there that can, keep up with me. But for the time being, I got to keep working on myself. And then, that'll come when it comes. But I'm out. Y'all stay positive. Peace.